Hi there. So in order to form a partnership in Illinois, you're going to need to download the proper PDF file, whether it's for a domestic LP, foreign LP, domestic LLP, or foreign LLP. Attach the filing fee and attach a certificate of good standing if you're a foreign business, and mail it to the Secretary of State. And that's sort of a general how-to of how to go about filing with Secretary of State, but of course it's a little more involved than that. So let's get started here. Also, I should say, if you want to check out the state statutes regarding your partnership type, you can click here or here. This one's for LLPs and this one's for LPs. This is the address here for the Secretary of State office when you send things in. Before you make this filing, we suggest that you perform a business entity search. Now, what this will do is it'll allow you to research the availability of your proposed business name, because often, you don't have to worry about, at least in this state, LLCs or corporations having the same name as you. However, any other limited partnership or limited liability partnership which has a similar name, you're probably going to get rejected when you submit your documents. So you perform a business entity search, and if you don't really see anything in the search results that resembles the name you plan on filing with, you're probably good to go. Also, if you're feeling pretty confident that your name is going to be original, and you want to perform a name reservation, you can click on this link. We got a tutorial for that here. It's just going to reserve your name, obviously, for up to 90 days before filing. I'm going to go briefly over each PDF, but essentially they're all the same. You need, usually, like, here we have the name of the partnership, the address of the offices, or the office rather, sorry, where the records are kept, registered agent, name and office. That's standard pretty much throughout every PDF I've ever come across. LP purpose, which is obviously just the purpose for formation. There's actually, if you look here, sort of a default purpose I have. I think it's the transaction of any or all lawful business for which limited partnerships and limited liability limited partnerships may be formed under this act. If that sounds about right to you, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, you can specify your purpose there. If you would like to be an LLP. No, I purposely didn't add that, their own sort of filing tutorial, the LLPs, because it's essentially the same thing. If you are going to be one of those, then click yes when this question comes up. Also provide the dollar amount of total cash, property, and services provided by all partners. This is optional, as is the brief statement regarding member termination and distribution rights, also optional. Then provide your date, signature, title, name, and full address of each partner. Send that into the Secretary of State with your filing fee, and you're pretty much done. I should have mentioned the filing fees. I'll do that right now. So any limited partnership, $150 across the board. Boom. If you are filing as a LLP, a foreign LLP, you're going to have to pay $500. Also, those qualifying in state will have to pay $100 per person, which is, of course, if you're a partnership, you're going to have at least two people, so it's a $200 minimum. Now, moving along here. Foreign LLPs, pretty much the same thing as before. You're number 2 here, you'll notice that it's an alternate name. That's just a fictitious name. If there's already a partnership that has a similar name to you, you're probably going to have to use a fictitious name. So that's where you'll put that. Also, you're going to just provide the date and location of initial formation and the designated office in your jurisdiction of original formation. Besides that, it's about the same. Again, mail that into the Secretary of State. For domestic LLP, now this isn't something that you form new. You have to be an LP already or just a partnership already, and it's just qualifying for limited liability amongst your partners. So it's pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but you can see you need the federal employer identification number beforehand, which means, as I said, you have to already exist. And same sort of stuff, partnership name, address of chief executive office. I'm not going to go through all that, but you will notice that number 5, the filing fees, you're pretty much determining your own filing fees based on how many partners you have. So remember, just like I said, it's $100 per partner. Keep that in mind. And the same can be said for foreign LLPs. essentially all the same information. And the difference between foreign LLPs and domestic LLPs is pretty much the same as when limited partnerships are involved. You just provide your initial state and all that stuff and mail it into the Secretary of State. Now we have a couple tips here. Unfortunately, as you noticed probably, there's no online filing for partnerships. So the same can be said for renewing. You need to download the LP annual report that can be found here. It's also going to cost partnerships $100 each time they file this. If you're not sure what an annual report is, it's basically what it sounds like. You're just updating the Secretary of State with all the information, all the changes which have occurred over the past 12 months. The due date for that is marked by the anniversary of your effective date. So as soon as you file this and you get confirmation that you're able to do business, a year from that day, your annual report will be due. Now, employer identification number, this is something that's really only pertinent for, I guess, domestic limited partnerships, really. Because remember how I said federal employer identification numbers are needed for domestic LLPs and foreign LLPs? This is what I was talking about. It's just something you need to apply for immediately after forming so that you can hire employees, open bank accounts. It's pretty much like a social security number for your entity, and it's used by the IRS to report businesses for tax reporting purposes. And finally, partnership agreement. We have a free template for one of these here. This is, again, exactly what it sounds like. You and the other general partners should draw this up. We have all the provisions necessary for the smooth operation of your partnership. It's just pretty much saying how you're going to run and manage all the internal affairs of your business. So that could be the number of meetings that the partners are obligated to have each year, what happens if you elect a new partner or get rid of an old one, what happens in the case of dissolution. All these sort of things are going to be involved in there. I didn't do a very good job of explaining it, but this tutorial here will. So I hope this was all helpful to you. Best of luck to you guys.